The Thousand Island Lake is the largest man-made lake in China's Zhejiang province and was formed in the 1950s. It is the byproduct of the Qiandao River hydropower station, the first hydropower station totally surveyed, designed and constructed by Chinese. The Qiandao River hydropower station boasts a dam with a height of 105 meters. The reservoir spans approximately 150 kilometers from east to west, with the widest portion being 10 kilometers wide. It takes up a total area of 580 square kilometers. Rising water levels turned what once were mountains into islands. Totally, there are 1,078 islands, so hence the name Thousand Island Lake. Traditional pollen, which is called caprification pollen, is collected by bees. Caprification pollen is from a diverse range of flower sources and thus contains mixed ingredients. The pollen quality is easily affected by pesticide traces, hormones excreted by bees, and other natural factors. Pine pollen belongs to the group Anemophilous pollen. Pine pollen is rarely contaminated by insects. It is therefore pollution-free, poison-free, and with no side effects. Through the hand-picking process, the resulting pine pollen is guaranteed to come from a pure flower source and be of a high quality. Zhejiang pine pollen is picked from the Chinese Pinus Massoniana Lamb pine forest at an altitude of 1,100 to 1,500 meters. These trees are hermaphrodites. This is a typical hermaphroditic tree. The female section is growing on the outside and the male section grows inside. The flower-based cells began to sprout in October the previous year. When the next spring comes, pollen fringes emerge. The fringes grow larger and larger as their color turns from green to yellow. Mature pollen uses wind as the medium to bring the male and female cells together. It then takes 13 months passing through summer to winter to finish the fertilization process. The fertilized oocyte keeps growing and turns into a seed by September of the third year. The entire process takes 28 months. Bountiful nutritional elements and antioxidant substances within the pollen play an important role during its very long gestation cycle. Otherwise, it would be almost impossible for the pollen to survive and carry out its reproduction mission in its relatively enclosed environment. At the Zhejiang Pine Pollen Picking Center, we interviewed Mr. Huang Yonggang, the General Manager of the New Era Health Industry Company. He introduced to us the key points to remember when picking pine pollen. He said,
"To ensure quality of the pine pollen, we must start from the flower source. We must follow 3 principles when picking pine pollen. Firstly, there must be absolutely no pollution source in the vicinity of the picking area, including pollution caused by traffic or pesticides. Secondly, there is a strict timing for the picking process. Look at this flower. It is not mature enough for picking yet and does not contain all the nutritional ingredients, while this one has already passed its peak, providing a very low yield. Now this one is suitable for immediate picking. It will provide a high yield and will contain all the nutrients. Finally, workers must carry out the picking, strictly adhering to the standards set down by our company. The clothes that they wear and the tools that they use must conform to our stringent requirements. We can only ensure high-quality pollen when all these guidelines are followed."
Pine pollen is a gymnosperm. It is the arenotoky cell of the Chinese Pinus Massoniana Lamb pine. Pine trees are known for their longevity, frost resistance, and ability to grow in barren areas. Genes containing these qualities and traits are embedded in the pollen and are passed down through the generations. The nutritional ingredients of the pine pollen not only exist in the pollen grain, but also in the pollen sporoderm. To fully release the nutritional ingredients, the New Era Health Industry Company uses advanced technology developed for national defense utilization and for military usage. Low-temperature, high-speed technology is used to break down the pollen sporoderms. The resulting grain is as fine as 5 micrometers in diameter. Since pine pollen needs to be picked during the rainy season, around the time of the grave sweeping festival, a high water content is found in the picked flowers. It is difficult to preserve the harvests as they become moldy easily, making it impossible to be consumed widely by people outside of the district. Since the 1980s, after 10 years of research, Chinese scientists finally mastered preserving and storing technology for large-scale pine pollen pickings. This technological breakthrough made for a wide market application of pine pollen into a reality. They also carried out more research into the nutritional makeup of pine pollen and its physiological functions. In results proven by lab tests, pine pollen have been shown to contain a bounty of nutritious substances with over 200 different types. In addition, its nutritional ingredients are well balanced and all are active ingredients. The pine pollen can adjust, rebalance and boost the body's immune system and alleviate any unfavorable symptoms. The China Rice Research Institute tested pine pollen for 29 types of pesticide traces and declared it to be a pollution-free and a healthy food source. The People's Republic of China Index added pine pollen into their nutritional compilation in 1985. In 1997, the State Ministry of Health affirmed pine pollen as a new resource food. The celebrated Chinese nutritionist Ms. Yu Rumu wrote of Gaoxian pine pollen, "This is a healthy food for all mankind from the gods."